What's going on, guys? Roger here at QVO Tactical. Today we have a little bit of a different video for you guys. We're out on the range with the Mk1 Dmr from Radical Defense, and on top of it we threw on another budget Amazon scope, the Eagle Blaze 5-25. Let's get into it. Now guys, before we get started, in the interest of full transparency, I always like to tell you how we go about getting products on the channel for review. We worked with the team over at Radical Defense for a number of years now, and they reached out and said, hey, we have the new Mk1 Dmr they want to send out to us. So this was sent to us free of charge, as well as the suppressor. So please keep that in mind as you watch the video. In addition to that, guys, Cvlife reached back out. We filmed a video with them, I want to say last year, on the budget Amazon scopes. And they reached out and said, hey, we have this new Eagle Blaze 5-25. Can we get it featured on the channel? So they are sponsoring this video as well, guys. So yes, they did pay to have this scope featured in this video in hopes to get more exposure on their new lineup with the 5-25. Guys, keep that in mind. I always want to be fully transparent with you guys when we make these videos. But we give it a fair shake. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised when you watch the video. At the same time, guys, I wouldn't bring anything on the channel that I wouldn't purchase myself. So I definitely think there's a place for this. As you watch the video, I'm obviously going to tell you right now, do I say replace, your top tier high-end stuff that you guys, especially you guys out there that shoot a lot of long range? No, it's not what I'm saying. But, for your more budget setups, I think, Marco, you're picking up, what, the 1 to 6 for your airsoft stuff? Yep. I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised with the glass clarity and some of the other features that come, especially at the price point. So we'll get into all of that. But before we jump into the whole zeroing process that I want to do, I first want to go over the specs of the rifle for you. So guys, we have the RD Mk1 Mod1 Dmr, chambered in 5.56 with a 16-inch barrel. It's going to come equipped with the RD suppressor KFM taper lock flash hider, which works with their suppressor. It also uses a Battle Arms Development rack ambidextrous charging handle. It's going to have a B5 Systems stock, so it's their Bravo stock, which is set up for DMR SPR style guns. It's going to have the B5 grip and a nickel Teflon 2-stage trigger, which was actually pretty nice out on the range. You'll see in some footage later on. You'll have an ambi safety selector, and then in addition to that, the gun utilizes their patented threaded straight gas tube and gas block, which eliminates gas leakage and helps reduce recoil. Comes with their Mk1 M-LOK handguards, and it's actually pretty good. We didn't notice a lot of heat through it when we were shooting. Barrel material is going to be 4150 chrome moly. Barrel finish is melanite. It's a 1/2 and 28 thread pitch at the end if you're going to change it to a different muzzle device. Again, chambered in 5.56 with a 1-in-7 twist rate in the barrel, M4 feed ramps. It's also going to be made from forged 7075 T6 aluminum. It's a 15-inch free float M-LOK handguard made by them in-house. Type 3 anodizing, and it comes in at around 8.2 pounds. Gun does MSRP for $15.99, so you'll probably find it a little cheaper out in the stores. So guys, like I said in the intro, just kind of want to take you through the process of getting, this setup zeroed. First thing I did, I used some 55 grain, some of our cheaper ball ammo, just, range plinking ammo. And I just got onto a steel target, used a mini 8-AP target, so it's like 8 inches wide. You should be seeing some B-roll of it, but it took me about 8 rounds, kind of just shoot, looking, where your rounds are impacting and then adjusting from there. And once I get on target where I want to be, I'm switching over to the 77 grain now. This is the open tip match from SuperVel. Much more accurate, much more pricey. We don't want to go through that stuff while we're just trying to get on target. But now that, I have a baseline for where we're at on target, I'm going to dial in here with the 77 grain on paper and see where we're at. So you should be seeing through the phone footage, through the spotting scope, the paper zeroing target loaded up here in this RD, this Radical Defense Dmr. Again, we can't record with the trigger cam because this Cvlife scope, it's actually, the glass is really clear, and I'll get you guys some footage with our COD mount, but the trigger cam isn't big enough the housing is not big enough to fit over this rear lens to show you guys through the optic footage, but we'll still get it for you when we do the target transitions and stuff. But anyway, let's get dialed in for the zero here. You ready, Marco? So I'm zoomed in 25x at 100. I'll shoot a group of 5 and then we'll go down there and look. Just high and right, right?
High and right, bullseye, yep. About the same spot. Yeah, group in the bullseye area.
Okay, we'll go take a look. Down here at the target now, guys, and definitely what we want to see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I shot 6, not 5. But you can see every square is 1 inch. The fact that these are all in one square tells you that we're shooting sub MOA. So actually measuring center to center on the furthest, you have 3/4 of an inch. So we have a 3/4 inch group with 6 rounds of SuperVel 77 grain OTM. That's awesome. I'll mark these up here in a bit, but I want to show you guys the steel target that you were looking at when I was getting dialed in. So when I shot at this target, my first round went over right, so we adjusted. And then I went too far and shot low left. We adjusted again, and I hit this edge. From here, we're able to gauge in, and within 8 rounds, I got my shot that I wanted. So this was with 55 grain. And then you guys see we switched over to the open tip match. And if my point of aim was here, so it looks like we have about 1/4 inch to the right and up of shift at 100 yards, switching from 55 to 77. So it looks like I need to come about 1/2 inch down and 1/2 inch left. So I'll adjust for that. Each click is 1/4 MOA, so that's just gonna be 2 clicks down, 2 clicks left, and then we should be shooting in this bullseye. So let's go do that. So guys, like we said down there, we're gonna come 2 clicks down. So lift the turret here. And then we need to go to left. Lock it back down. 77 grain. Recording there. We got a little bit of wind, guys, so if the spotting scope is shaky, sorry. I'm trying to give you guys the best we can in regards to seeing what we're seeing. Ready, Marco?
Yep, on target.
That one felt off to me.
Yeah, I think it went in the same group area. High left. Just to the left of the bullseye.
Alright, we'll take a look. So guys, second group's not as good as the first. This was our first shot, and this I definitely felt was me. When I was squeezing the bag, I squeezed with my left hand as I pressed the trigger, and I could feel it jerk. And that's where Marco said the high left. But the other ones here, we got 2 touching there. Group opened up a little bit on me. We're now at, what is that? 1.1 inch. So just over an inch group now. Looks like I need to come back right. Probably 1/2 inch. I probably just needed 1/4 inch. So I'll come back right, and then I'll probably come one more down. But we'll make our adjustments off of there and get us as close to center as we can. Alright guys, so I made my adjustments already. Gonna shoot this hopefully third and final group. And we should be zeroed. Ready, Marco?
Yep, on target. Just to the high left of the bullseye. Just out of the red square area. To the low right of the bullseye. Can't see that one, probably in the group somewhere. Just the tip of the bottom of the bullseye. Same spot.
Alright, let's go take a look. So I had 1 flyer up here, guys, and the rest are all looks like, I mean, those are 2 through the same hole. So we're back to an inch group minus my flyer. With my flyer, I think it's like 2 inches. Yeah, with the flyer it's like 2 1/4, but that's why we shoot 6. Anyway, back to 1 inch group there. I mean, we're chasing the dot now. I'm gonna make one more adjustment and then shoot a final 0 here, and then I'm gonna call it. 6 more rounds loaded up. I need to come down. Sorry, no, I need to go up 1/4 inch. Maybe that's where I messed up. Maybe I got my up and downs mixed up there, but I'm going up 1 click, which is 1/4 MOA. So from here, 1/4 inch. And then we need to come back left. All right, I'll pick a different diamond. And let's see. Ready, Marco?
Yep, I'll target. Upper left of that big red square. Just below the bullseye left. Same spot. Same spot. Just above that group.
Alright.
Can't see that.
Let's go look. Definitely got a lot of heat mirage, probably coming off the suppressor. So guys, from back there, didn't think I was gonna be happy with the group, but getting up here, I'm pretty stoked on it. So 6 rounds fired, and we have 3 of them right here. So that's gonna be my zero, my group right there. And then the other ones are over here. Marco's saying through the camera, that was my first one. Seems like my first shot's always my flyer. But guys, even with that flyer, we're still at center to center, 1-inch group. So yeah, I mean, we kind of knew that the gun was going to perform based on the first group that we had here. It was all within a 1-inch square. So now we are zeroed. I'm happy with that zero. Now we just be kind of chasing it. Like, I moved 1 click over from left, and you guys can see I'm just probably 1/8 of an inch low left. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it any closer than that, so I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to have fun, you know, just shooting some of the... We have steel targets out at varied distances now, and we'll kind of get you guys some through the optic footage so you can see what I'm talking about, like the clarity through the Cvlife scope for the price point. I mean, I had the guys look through it and kind of guess the price of the scope, and they were all pretty shocked at, you know, how affordable this optic is with the clarity of glass. So, but my thing was I wanted to see if I could get out here and get it zeroed and see how it would do. So, you know, the DMR from Radical Defense from RDUSA with their suppressor and everything, like, I'm happy with that group. Marco, you shoot, you know,
Very nice.
like, it makes me think when we used to go shoot the gas gun precision matches, like, that'd be a setup I would take with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, for what was the scope? Like, is it 350, 400?
440, I think.
440. We'll look it up, get you the exact numbers, guys. We have it all back there. We just don't have it on top of my head, but you know,
Pretty good.
5 to 25 for under 500 bucks.
Yeah, the clarity especially.
Yeah, so
Very good.
illuminator reticle, all that stuff. But yeah, we'll go back there, shoot some varied steel targets, and have Marco. Actually, I might have Marco shoot a group too,
Yep.
just for some fun, because he's blind.
Yeah, I'm blind. It's bad.
And we'll see how he groups on this other diamond. All right, guys, we're gonna have Marco shoot. You want to shoot 6, Marco?
6.
He'll do the bottom left diamond for you guys.
That was me. For sure.
We all get a what is it, a mulligan?
Yep.
Do me a favor, move up or back so like the shell casing is literally hitting the tripod leg. Was that what's happening with me?
Yeah, maybe like 1 shot out of the bunch.
It would shake the whole thing. I think you have. I think they're both in the same exact hole though.
Yeah, I'm kind of flinching it a little bit. I'm not really on the pillow that good right now with the gun bag.
High left of the bullseye. All right, let's go take a look.
Should be to the left. I'm kind of pushing it to the stop right now.
Down here at the target now, guys. Before we get into this, I want to make some excuses for Marco. First time shooting that gun.
Yeah, cold.
So
cold.
shooting it cold, and if you guys look, the 3 touching here, that's probably where his group is. This was his first shot, and then you notice you said you were flinching and pulling
I was
left.
kind of on the bag wrong. I mean, I was kind of fighting it to push the gun back to the right.
Gotcha.
So it was naturally leaning to the left. I knew exactly when I pulled the trigger. Oof.
But I
I'm in
mean,
a good position right now.
without your flyer, you're at 1.5 inches. With your flyer, you're just over. You're 2 1/8, and then the group here is a 1/2 inch group. So I mean, to me, again, oh, the other thing, guys, we just looked it up. So MSRP on this Cvlife 5 to 25 is what, 420?
Yep.
But Amazon, where they have it, where they're selling it, is actually, it's only $299. So it's sub 300 bucks Amazon Prime. I mean, that's crazy, like, for as cheap as it is. Additionally, I believe they're giving us a code. So it'll probably be the pinned comment down below in the comment section because I can't put codes and stuff like that in the YouTube videos. But they did tell me that they would give us a code for you guys out there that wanted to pick one of these up. So we'll pin it as the top comment. That way you guys can get it for even cheaper than $299. So sub $300 for that glass that you're gonna. Again, we're gonna get you. You guys should have seen stuff in like our little intro, but we'll get you some through the optic footage here with our COD mount. But I wanted to ask you something down here. You've been shooting for a long time. I've heard a lot of people say like, oh hey, the gun isn't zeroed for me. I never really understood that. So like to me, it's like the gun should be mechanically zeroed. Like
it's a machine. It should be 0 to 0.
Like I level the mount, I level the optic, the scope when I mount the gun, when I mount it to the gun and everything. And then when you come out here, if I hand you a zeroed gun, you should be able to produce similar results. Which with these three, in my opinion, you did. I have 3 just left of the bullseye. You have 3 just left of the bullseye. You know, I think if we did cone of fire, which you're typically doing for your guns, we'd probably have the same cone of fire.
Yeah, the cone of fire will be leaning to the left of the group. It'll be the same area, vicinity-wise.
So, but I mean, for the 6 rounds you shot, how did the setup feel?
Pretty good. I'm used to one single-stage trigger, so that's usually my thing. I usually don't like 2-stage, even when shooting in distance, because I shoot like 2-gun, multi-gun stuff like that. Rifle matches. We want speed. So the 2-stage is always something. I'm not usually a fan of 2-stage personally, but for this kind of stuff, most of you guys would probably want that. But the gun's very capable, the optic's very capable, especially for the cost. It's surprisingly cheap and it punches well above that price tag. So.
All right, let's go have a little fun with this scope now and kind of get you guys some through the optic stuff. So guys, we're setting up for that intro shot that you saw. I'm gonna mount the phone up there and I'll shoot from down there. But notice something here on the back of the target we were zeroing with, kind of puts things in perspective for me. If you look at these groupings, 100 yards out, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Like, every one of these bullets is smaller than the tip of this Sharpie, and these are the groups that we just shot from the zeroing process. And Marco and I were kind of talking, everything with the rifle, the suppressor, the scope, the mount, everything, you're talking sub $2,500 bucks.
Yeah, it's cheap.
So, and guys, it's cheap in regards to like what it's producing. Now, I know there's gonna be guys in the comment section, hey, I can build my PSA setup and do the same thing with a Strike Eagle 1-6. Sure, I get that. But at the same time, like, it's gonna require probably a much better skill set than what we have. If we're, you know, guys, I'm very amateur when it comes to like gas gun precision. I've shot a couple matches. I've not taken any classes, but you know, being able to produce these results, I'm pretty pumped on. So guys, you heard me talking earlier about shooting first with the 55 grain and then switching over to some OTM. This is the 77 grain open tip match from our friends over at SuperVel, guys. This is what we're going to be using for more of our precision stuff, you know, when shooting 223 or longer 16-inch plus gas guns.
Marco here with your trigger breakdown for the Radical Defense Mk1 Dmr. So this is the factor trigger in it, 2-stage, so first stage of this trigger right there. Nice and easy take up, nice and smooth. Brake is nice and clean at about, feels like 2.5, 3 pounds. Resets quick. There it is again. There that. Find it, bang. Really easy to get speed too if you need to shoot for speed. But very smooth take up, very smooth brake, especially out of the box. So right out of the box, we noticed the ejection is actually very optimal, even with a can on it already. It seems to be gassed correctly. It's about 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish, so it's nice and smooth.
Super consistent.
Yep, very consistent. Same pile, so.
All the brass is right here. So guys, this is a first focal plane 5-25, meaning that your reticle is going to magnify as you zoom in. Right now we are at 5 times magnification. Here is 6. This target is the mini ADAP at 100 yards. Here's 8, 10, 12, 15, 18, 20, and now the full 25. And then all the way back. So that's what you're going to be getting as far as clarity if you're going to pick one of these up. And then it has this throw lever, which is nice, so it makes it easy just to crank it all the way over if you need to engage out to distance. So guys, we've got a C-zone steel target about 75 yards out. Zooming in here, first focal plane 5 to 25. We're now at 25x. You notice you kind of lose the reticle. Well, they do have illuminated reticle. It'll illuminate the center here. So you'll see I'll come down. This is the 6th setting. It's got 6 settings. So the highest setting, it's sun's right overhead. It's about noon, so it's the brightest time of the day. And you guys can see, very easy to still see the center crosshairs there. Coming off target, you can see it even better, but against that black, that's where I wanted to see, you know, put it to the challenge, and definitely can see it able to engage the target, no problems there. So, but the different settings here, let me go to the paper target. I'll come off of the red zone there, but let's go to parallax. I'll set it back to 100 now, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for me, being as bright as it is out, I really don't notice it till it's the 6th setting. I'm sure the other settings will work really, you know, well, much better in low light conditions, but if you're going to use the illuminated reticle feature, you're definitely going to want to have it at the brightest setting if you're shooting in the middle of the day. So guys, I'm going to kind of bring in dual camera here for you. This has a parallax setting. Right now I have it at infinity. So let me zoom in on the paper target at 100, and you'll see how blurry it is through the optic. So if we come over here, set the parallax, because we know we're at 100, I'll bring it down to 100, and you'll see how the target gets very clear through this glass. So parallax setting looks like it goes all the way from 30 to 500, or you can set it at infinity if you're shooting out past 500. But right now we're at 100, and that's the kind of clarity you're getting with this $300 Amazon scope. Now guys, before Marco and I hop into final thoughts, I just kind of want to give you a rundown on the specs and everything you're getting with the Cvlife Eagle Blaze 5 to 25. Jumping into the specs on this Cvlife Eagle Blaze 5 to 25, guys, it's a first focal plane scope with a multi-coated ED lens. It has parallax adjustments that go all the way from 30 yards to 500, actually all the way out to infinity. It's got extra low dispersion glass to minimize chromatic aberration. The glass etched reticle is a first focal plane reticle. It does have red illumination, 6 different settings that you guys saw as we were shooting. You'll find precision zeroing with the zero stop. The locking turret and zero stop elevation turret are finger adjustable with precise and audible quarter MOA clicks. This made it very easy for us to get a zero to adjust to it and get there. Zero stop feature allows for the quick and reliable return to zero. So if you're dialing up or down, you're going to have that zero stop feature just to rotate back and lock into place. The Cvlife Eagle Blaze features shockproof, waterproof, and fogproof capabilities. It's endured over 1,000 rounds of 1,000 G impact test during testing. It is sealed with O-rings, and it is nitrogen purged as well. The package will include the 34mm tube rifle scope. It's going to have flip-up caps, scope rings. It'll have wrenches. It does come with a throw lever and the long sunshade that you see here, as well as a lens cloth, a manual, and the 2032 batteries needed to put in the scope for the illuminated reticle. Now, when it comes to the elevation and windage, it's going to offer you 160 MOA of elevation adjustment as well as 80 MOA of windage adjustment. And guys, all of this packaged together at a price point on Amazon Prime of $299. Pretty insane when you look at all the specs and features that you are getting for that price point. I definitely think it's worth, you know, putting on one of your just range fun guns, or if you're looking for a scope that you want to use for testing zeros. Like for me, this is going to be a great scope to use when we come out to test like groupings and the zeroing of different rifles, just to see how accurate they are. I can throw this thing on, doesn't cost a lot, and we're getting pretty, you know, with this gun alone, we had a sub MOA group right off the first rounds. Now it's time for final thoughts, guys. We have the Radical Defense Mk1 Mod1 Dmr along with the Cvlife 5 to 25 first focal plane scope. Marco, after getting this thing dialed in with a really good zero, what are your thoughts?
The rifle, really good bang for buck. I mean, they got the H-bar barrel, really good B5 furniture. They knew what they were doing. It's like it's precision furniture for precision style shooting. 2-stage trigger. It's nice and clean. For the money, especially for a new shooter, really going to be hard to beat this one for that kind of specific purpose. So
yeah, I agree. I think bang for buck is kind of nailing it. I think overall, for everything you're seeing here, guys, you'd probably be in for around $2,500. That's the rifle, the suppressor, and the scope. I like that they, like you said, the furniture.
Yep.
They got the PRS style stock on here. It's set up for being a DMR gun, so it has the stock that's needed with all these different adjustments. It's not just, that you can extend it. You can bring out the back pad, bring up the cheek weld. So I like that they have all of that. Your trigger breakdown showed that out of the box, really decent two-stage trigger. Suppression was good. I like all the Radical cans. I've used them in other videos, and I've had great success with their 3D printed stuff. I do wish it was 18 inches.
Yeah.
I do prefer a 45-degree selector style for these type of guns, so I can rest my thumb on the 45 when shooting. That's just personal preference stuff and things I could switch out. But I mean, like I said, you nailed it with the whole bang for buck thing. We were talking off camera, and Marco kind of mentioned, like, man, this would be like a perfect setup for somebody that's getting their first style SPR, DMR, length gun. And I agree. Like, again, for the price point, I think everything would be under 2,500 bucks. The Cvlife scope actually really impressed us, guys. I had everybody in the shop kind of take a look through this thing and didn't tell them the price point, and they all were guessing double or more the price point. Amazon Prime has this for $2.99. They did tell us after we got done filming the video they would send us out a coupon code for you guys watching that should be pinned somewhere in the comments. So if you're looking to pick one of these up, you'll be able to use that code. I believe it's a code for Amazon. So, definitely take a look at that if it's something you're interested in. Guys like you, I'm a customer as well, so I do want to bring you guys some of this stuff because I like a good bargain just as much as you guys do. The glass clarity, first focal plane, like I thought for sure this thing was going to be second focal plane. And even at second focal plane, I think the price point would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was still a good deal. But the fact that it's first focal plane, quarter MOA adjustments, they're audible, they're tactile. I will say the illumination's kind of lacking. Like, I'll have to test it at night. I think at night if I can see all settings 1 through 6, but I honestly, in the daytime, with how bright it is right now in the middle of the desert, I only saw the illumination at 6, but it was clear enough for me to see, no problem. It was bright enough for me to see. But I like that it comes with everything. You're talking all the way down to the 2032 batteries that you need for the illumination it comes with. So you have the scope mount, you have the throw lever that comes in here. This thing just thumb screws out, thumb screws back in. It's nice that it's there so you can take it off or on. The parallax goes from 30 to 500 yards, or you can put it at infinity if you're shooting past 500, and the sunshade. Oh, also the scope rings. Oh, and side note, when you put this on, make sure you torque it to spec, because the first time I came out with it, I forgot to torque it and they did come loose. But we did torque it this time, and everything, held, got us really tight zeros, really tight groups. So yeah, overall, very pleasantly surprised with the Cvlife Eagle Blaze 5-25 first focal plane scope. I know there's people in the comments down below, oh, it's, Chinese piece of crap, whatever. I honestly think, guys, if I would have covered these labels up and put no labels or different labels, I would have had guys on the range guessing, different higher tier end brands. Now, again, would I take this over, my Leupold Mark V HD? No. But would I put this on, more on the budget side of SPR guns, or I'm bringing somebody out that's first learning to shoot, distances of 100 yards plus? Yeah, 100%. We were able to produce sub-MOA groups with this setup, and I think it's very capable. Definitely interested to hear some of your guys' constructive comments down below. When we did the 1 to 8 or 1 to 6 video, I think you're going to pick one of those up for your airsoft stuff.
Exactly.
And that's something you might want to use it for, guys. Like, it held up for us here within, 150 rounds of zeroing. So is that, a big enough test? No, I don't think so. So I'm not trying to say it is. But what I am saying is that I was able to get a solid 0. It maintained 0 for all those rounds, and transitioning on the different steel targets from like 75 to 100, nothing crazy. Later on down the road, we might take it out to Marco's range and see how far we can push this thing. One of the other things that I'm not happy about is that I can't mount the trigger cam on the back. The lens here is too big, so it doesn't let the trigger cam fit over it. So that's unfortunate, because I wanted to show you guys, as I was transitioning. The footage that you saw, we actually had to like splice and put footage together of the COD mount with me shooting. That's how we're able to create that, appearance for the B-roll stuff. But I did want to show you the glass clarity. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. I think there's a lot of, Marco said it best, it's a really good bang for your buck in all aspects, from the gun, suppressor, and the scope.
Yeah, you can buy more ammo to shoot, which is really the main goal with this thing.
But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Marco, thanks for helping out with this one. You guys can see, pan over here, our umbrella. We got hit with, like, when I tell you guys how windy it gets out here in the desert, that just ripped it off my truck. And yeah, so we were in the middle of filming this. You'll see it in the bloopers, but yeah, so we were able to get the results that we got in this wind with this setup, and I'm pretty pumped on it. So appreciate you guys watching. SuperVel, your 77 grain open tip match did awesome for us. You guys saw the results. So if you're looking for some precision 223, 556 stuff, the 77 grain is definitely, in my opinion, gonna be the way to go. They're right here in Vegas. Cvlife, appreciate you reaching out and sponsoring this video. Thanks for the support. And Radical, always love shooting your guys' stuff. But again, thank you for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff down below. Drop us a line in the comment section, and we have different sun hoodies that'll be coming out this summer, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys. We'll see you in the next video. With the results we got, even with the crazy wind, every time we want to shoot somewhat.
It's 68 degrees and there's a 30% chance that it's already raining.